dad who draws.
Hi, my name is Kurt Aspland, and I'm a dad who loves to draw. The Daily Draw is a great class that I have created to help you really get good at drawing. You know, over the years, I've realized that the best way for anyone to improve is to draw a little bit every single day. But when you're doing it alone, a lot of times you can lose focus. So with the Daily Draw, you can tune in 15 minutes a day, spend some time with me. I go live, and if you miss the live, you can look at the recording of the day and just draw the exercise that I will demonstrate, and you will discover some great success. Can't wait to see you in the class. Thanks. My name is Kurt, and I'm a dad who draws. Okay, hello. Welcome, everyone. How are we? Let's see, how am I looking right there? All right, I'm looking pretty good, I think. Come over here. All right, adjust the camera there. Oh, I've got to turn this on over here. All these technical things, right, going on. Let's start that up. As soon as we got that cooking. All right, let's see how we're looking on screen. Okay, I think we are ready to go. Well, hello, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is Wednesday Night Live. We always come together every Wednesday night, and I kind of review. We pick a portrait in our Facebook group, and I go over the step-by-step process how to draw a portrait. It's really geared for all levels of art. The first part, I always review the steps that it takes to build construction. And then in the second part of the hour, we actually will draw a portrait. So I'm glad you're here. There are a couple links down in the description. If you're interested, we do have a very active Facebook group. Lots going on there. Check that out. I have a free class called the Beginner's Workshop Part A. I would check that out as well. There's a link down below. And then if you're looking for something that is going to help you not stare at a blank sketchbook every day with a little bit of extra help from myself, then the Daily Draw is perfect for you. That is a paid class, but we do meet every single day and we go live. If you missed the live recording, you could always watch the rewind. Anyways, so let's jump right off to it. Who's it looking at? We've got Jacqueline already coming in here, and Leah. Hello, Leah. How are you doing? All right, you made it. We haven't done anything yet, so you guys are perfect. You guys are ready to go. All right. Well, let's start off with just some very basic ways to start to draw the face, and of course, drawing the portrait is one of the most difficult things to do. So, if we can simplify it, and you get comfortable with the simplification of it, then we can always up the game, okay? So let's for fun, let's start off with a couple spheres, okay? Spheres, and I'm gonna do a large one and a big one, just like this, okay? And all I want you to do on these is to draw an equator. You know, an equator is like that line that goes right around the head, almost like these are like almost planet Earth, right? Let's draw this one like this. Let's go this way on this one. So two equators, and and let's draw another equator kind of going this way. And this one will go like this. And if I go too fast, just ask me to slow down. I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, so these two heads are going to represent the beginnings of a head that we're going to draw. Okay, this line right here, sometimes it's referred to as the brow line or the eye line. And what I mean by that is this is the brow line goes. I like to think of it as the brow line. Some people draw it as an eye line. So it's up to the individual how they want to do that. All right, let's keep going here. The next two marks I want to put on my page are where the temples are. Temples are on the right outside of the eyebrows, okay? So this angle, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do one more small one down here. And we're going to draw this almost like we're looking straight at it, with that center line just like this. Okay? These would be considered a 3/4 view, meaning you see 3/4 of the face on one side. This is going to be a straight on view, okay? A straight on view. So let's go ahead and get these temples in. Now, here's the one thing I want you to really focus on tonight. If I look at the camera straight on, okay, let me scoot over there. There it is. And my temples are right there. They're perfectly equal distance. So from here to this temple is the same as from here to over there. All right. But if I turn my head like a 3/4 view, okay, now from the center of my nose to this temple over here, this distance is a lot shorter than this one over there. You see that? So when you are drawing anything that's in a 3/4 view, you've got to remember that the distance from the center to the shorter side, this is always going to be a little bit less than over here. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So if I'm going to mark my temple is going to be right about there. And on this side, look at that. See how I have it much closer to the center line? Let's do the same thing on, we're going to call this A and B, and we'll call this, this is C down here. So on A, there's my temple, there's my center, and then this is going to be a little bit further away. You see that? And down here in this straight view, okay, so that's my center, and my temple is going to be right there. Now, since we're looking at this straight on, it's going to be exactly equal. Now the head typically is flat along the side. So we want to maintain that idea. So look at A, and right here at the temple, I'm going to draw another oval. But then right here, I'm going to draw a straight line like this. And this idea is that I've just sliced off part of that sphere. Okay. Let's do it again over on B this time, and same thing. We're going to draw a sphere, draw an oval. Okay, this is going to be cut right down the center there. And then the side is going to come up just like that. Let's do the same thing on this side here. It's gonna be flat, a little flat on that side there, because we've just sliced that off. You see what I'm saying? And then down below on C here, okay, we're just going to slice the side off just like that, okay? Look at that side right there. Look on A, okay? And I'm going to extend the center line here, just down. No exact distance, just so I have some depth going down there. It's going to be parallel to the side one over there. You see that? And we can do the same thing for B as well. We're going to drop that down just like that. And on the center on C, we'll drop that line down as well, okay? Okay, let's go right to the center here of A, right there. And we're going to bring this down. If I was going to look at this distance between those two marks, I'm going to bring it down maybe about right about there, okay? Just put a little mark right there. And this is coming across here on B. So let's drop that down right about there maybe. And then looking at C, let's do the same thing. So this is bottom of the back of the skull. Let's just come down here almost about halfway. That one might be a little too long. So let's move that up just a little bit. I'm gonna erase this. Yeah, that looks much better to me. Okay, let's go to A. Let's go to A, and we're going to go down to this little point right there in A. Okay, and we're going to drop that down just a little teeny bit. This is going to be the corner of the jaw, and then we're just going to do a nice sweep around to get the jaw there. You see that? And then on the far side, we're going to drop this down a little bit, and then we're going to give a slight curve coming around just like that. All right, let's move over to B. We're going to drop this down just a little bit, and once again, give a little bit of a curve there. Drop down the other side just slightly. And bring in a curve just like that. Let's go to C, drop that down. That's going to curve around like that. And this is going to be somewhat symmetrical, so you can bring that down just like that as well. Good morning. Joe, how are you? Good morning. What time is it? That must I think. Let's see. You are in Australia or New Zealand, I think. All right. All right. So this right here, what we've just drawn, this is your basic head. This is your basic head structure, and if you're new to drawing the portrait, this is paramount. This is so important to really get this form down. Oh, okay, South Australia, lovely. What a way to start your day, huh? My end and your beginning. What does my tomorrow look like, Joe? All right, so this is your basic head. So what I would recommend is if you're new to drawing the portrait, get this down because Construction always leads to likeness, and this is the key part of construction. So let's break this down just a little bit further. Let's work on B for a bit, okay? And this is the brow line, okay? It's this center section right here between the head. And if you go to the chin, if you go to the brow line up here and the chin, just like this, if you get the center point, a lot of times that's like the bottom, right here at the bottom part of the nose. So let's kind of put that in just like that, okay? That will help us establish where the bottom of the nose is. Up here at the top, then we're going to have, and let's do that also down here. So there's the chin. Let's go in right here at the bottom of the nose. All right, that's going to be about halfway between the brow line and the chin is the nose. So a very simple way to remember how to do the nose is to think of a man's tie. And if you go in with this concept, if you draw something like that, that's the top part of the nose. This is where it goes underside. And then if you draw two upside down bowls, that's essentially how the nostrils will work. And then if you connect these two parts, those are the sides of the nose. You're looking straight at it in this example. So if we take a look at the B, portrait B, let's draw this nose in a 3/4 view here. So there is my, there's this part right here, okay, the third eye, like to say. And I'm going to actually change my color here. That would probably help a little bit. So I'm going to draw this line next. And I don't want to draw that on the surface. I want to draw that a little further out. So it's going to be just a little bit out there, you see? A little bit wider maybe. And then now I can like connect that idea. And I'm going to do this so you could kind of see how I'm putting it on there. Let's change the color. All right, so now I'm going to draw the underside, and so the underside is going to be like this. Let's change the color again. And then the nostrils, let's do this one first, the one over here, like this. Okay, so this is going to have a little bit of a cup here. Look at that. Okay. And then the other side is also like a cup, but look at this. This nose is kind of covering. It's in front of it. You see that? I'm going to change my color one more time here. And then when I put the sides in, so here's one side over there. And then there's the other side on this, which you may not be able to see. So that's how we take something that is looking straight on and then put it in a 3/4 view. We have to think in that regard. I want to show you one more thing, and then we will get into our picture, our drawing for tonight. And let's look at the lips, okay? I want to examine the lips really quick with you. So a way to draw the lips is you're going to want to start off with a center line. This is going to help you out quite a bit. And then I like to put 2 dots in to represent the corners of the mouth. You see that? The corners of the mouth, like this. Top of the mouth is going to come up. And then you're going to have like, you might have a little cup here. It's going to be this little section right there. And then sometimes you'll have a little bit of the center of the lip. We'll have just a little, some people it happens. I think it happens on me a little bit. I could feel a little ridge. Little ridge there. And this will occasionally overlap. Overlap that just ever so slightly. All right, now let's get the bottom lip, and there's the bottom lip, just like that. And when it comes to shading the lip, generally speaking, the top lip is in shadow, and then the bottom, you have a little bit of a shadow underneath the bottom lip, just like that. So let's look at this now in 3/4 view, because this is where it gets tricky. So let's just say this is our center line. And if you remember what I said earlier, that on 3/4 view, one side is always going to be shorter than the other side, okay? So let's just say that's our center line. Now remember, earlier on, when I put these dots in, I put them exactly the same distance. Well, what we're going to do on a 3/4 view, we're going to put one close and another one a little bit further away, just like that. And we're going to go through the same process here, but it's key to remember as we add each part, you have to shift it ever so slightly. So let's just say that the center part, that center U, I'm going to put more, a little bit more on the left side. You see that? All right, now I can connect those. And then when I draw that smiley part, which was right here, this part right here, that's perfectly even on both sides of the center line. But on a 3/4 view, I'm going to have it longer on one side and shorter on the other. And we get then we get the mouth in. Now we could finish connecting that on each side there. And now to draw the bottom lip, more on one side, less on the other. So that becomes 3/4. Let's add that. Let's add this mouth to our character above us, and then we'll get into our drawing. So first thing I'm going to do is add my 2 marks. So this is my center line, so I'm going to come over there. That looks good. And then this one's going to be shorter. You see that? Maybe a little further out there. And there's my U. That's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to more on this side. There it is right there. All right, let's connect. Let's connect the edges there. All right. right, now we're going to draw this right here. So again, there that is. More on one side than the other. Now we can go across. And the last thing we're going to do is get that bottom lip. So here we go. More on this side, less over there. All right, so that's how we do 3/4 with lips. So we just want to you're welcome, Joe. So you just want to just take one step, these little steps, okay? Don't forget those. All right. Let's move that aside, and let's bring up our portrait for tonight. So our portrait here is going to be a 3/4 portrait. All right, so let's open up a new layer there. Great. And remember, don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself of how this looks. Just give yourself a pat on the back that you're here practicing with me. That's really the most important thing you can do. Okay, so there's my sphere. I'm going to start off nice and big there. Now this girl is looking almost straight at camera, okay? And she is looking straight at camera. She's not turning her head to the left or to the right. She's not leaning it forward, and she's not leaning it back. She is just looking straight, but yet has a slight turn, so she's creating a 3/4 view. So let's just put the brow line in, and we're almost going to go straight across, just like that. And I'm going to put a little marker here. This is the center point, okay? And if you came in, let's go ahead and go back to our drawing here. And I'm going to look at this angle of the face. So I'm just going to come in here with a straight line. And this is going to be my angle right here. And what I'm looking for is this distance. Okay? That's the distance I'm going to look for. So I'm just going to look at my drawing and I'm going to go, okay, I'm right. That's the center point. That's what I'm going with right there. Okay, so if that's the center point, let's get the far right side of her head here. And so this is the measurement that I'm visualizing in my head. So how many, if we continue this in this direction, that's going to be maybe 1, maybe about 2. You see that? So this is how I'm kind of measuring my proportion. So let's get that in place. So I got 1. Right about there. That's the outside part of her head. All right, now let's drop in like her hairline on this side, and it's just kind of going. It's like a straight angle coming down here, and we've got a straight coming in here like this. I may have to adjust mine a little bit more to the right, but you get the idea. All right, let's get this center line in now. So our center line is going to come down here just like that. The next measurement we're going to look for is this. Where is the bottom of her nose? Okay, so in a sense now we can, did I put this on the right? Let me switch to the other layer here. Great. So now we're going to look for the bottom of the nose. And the next thing I do is, with my center line kind of established, which I have, I'm kind of looking for this. This is a nice, that's a nice measurement to look for right there. That triangle, that triangular relationship. So if I look at my drawing here, I'm going to just kind of guesstimate right about there. I think that's the bottom of her nose. That's a good location. Good location, right about there. Okay, next mark, let's get the bottom of her chin, okay? So we've kind of got that there. And it's like, that's like almost a halfway point. You see that? That's like a halfway point. So let's do that. Let's add that little mark. So I'm going to come right about there. That's the bottom part of her chin right there. So all of these colored marks I have on this side, you know, these are all the things that are going on in my head. I'm actually not putting these things on my drawing anywhere. I'm thinking through these things, okay? And that's where you want to get, that's where you want to kind of get at. All right, let's bring this up here now. I'm gonna come up here like this, starting to map her face out just a little bit, right? Let's also let's get this forehead in here, and I think we can estimate now that we've got some sizes that are helping us, right? And we could even, I'm going to go ahead and drop in kind of a pseudo hairline back over here. This is just going to help me make sure that things are, help me with proportion overall, okay? Now, her top of her head is cut off in the picture, so we're going to have to estimate that. And all I'm doing right now is just getting a feel where maybe some of these other pieces are going to go. I can always come back and adjust them. Hey, AJ. All right. You just got out of your meeting. Okay. Hope it was a good one, my friend. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of my guides there. Oh, look at that. I had my guides on the wrong page. Temple right there. Okay. Let's go ahead now. Remember now, this is a 3/4 view, and we kind of reviewed that at the beginning. So let's go lightly on this. Let's draw in that top part of that tie. Come down here with a slight angle. This is about where her tip of her nose is going to be, like this. Keep it nice. Keep it really light. I may have gotten her nose just a little too long. but we can adjust that. Now, one measurement is the width. The width of the nose is about the same width of the eye, so that's something that you can guesstimate it there. I'm going to go with something like that. And let's get in this. Let's look at this here. Let me show you this up top there. And let's look at this. Oops, what's going on there? Wrong color. There's the corner of her eye. Okay. And here's the corner of their nose there. You see that? So this is where you might, what I would call a vertical alignment. All right, where I'm looking at that edge of the nose. How's that lining up with the corner of her eye? Okay, that's a very helpful thing to observe. So I got kind of my nose established. So let's come in here with about more of my eye. Oops, wrong color. Corner of my eye right there. All right. Let's look at this. There's the other corner of the eye right there, and look at the relationship between those 2 points. One is a little bit higher than the other. As long as we're here, let's also mark in those, and you could see that those two also. So it looks like the outer edges are slightly higher than the inside part, right? So let's do that. And like I said earlier, the width of the nose is about the same width as the eye. So I'm going to put a mark right there, maybe, right? Come across a little bit. Ooh, come on now. And we're about right about there, I think. All right, I'm gonna now very lightly draw my eyeballs in. Okay, very lightly. I don't know why. This always helps me to get these eyelids in. Okay, let's take a look at these look at these eyelids before we draw them. Okay, so look at this now. Look closely. Let me make sure I'm on the right layer here. So you know what? I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. So we're coming up and we're coming down. You see that? And then look at this. This is the biggie right here. This is a little bit of an S curve. All right, let's look at the other side now. It comes up and then it has a long sweep down the other side. You see that? And this also has a little bit of an S curve. So we want to be aware of that, okay? I'm going to leave those on for right now to help us visualize that. So I'm going to come up. Oh, get on the right layer here. Come up. Okay, got that one there. And a slight S curve. All right, let's go to the other side. I'm going to come up. a little bit, and then nice long sweep over there. And then a slight S curve. Good. And when it comes to eyelashes, you don't really have to do the eyelashes, you just have to make a thicker line. So let's look at the left side here. I'm just going to add a thicker line on the outside of the eye, just like that. I'm going to do the same for the other side. Okay, let's get that eyelid in now. It's not a perfect, the left-hand side eyelid. It's not a perfect round. It's a little bit straight there, and it curves around here, and it curves around there, just like that. Same thing on the other side there. Curves around slightly. Now let's get our pupils in. I look to the whites of my eyes and match the negative space. Okay, I'm gonna add a slight tone there. Okay. Let's get these eyebrows in. I'm just gonna put like a single line here to establish about where it's gonna fall. And what helps me to determine that is I'm looking at this. Oh, come on now, cancel that. I'm looking at this negative shape. That's what I'm looking for. Same on the other side. I'm going to be looking at this negative shape. Other side here, okay. All right, let's get down here in the top of her lips now. And I'm looking for that top part of her lip in a relationship to the bottom part of her nose. Now I'm going to look for the corners of the mouth and I'm going to line those up. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look for these corners just like this. And I'm going to ask myself, where are these lining up? How far out am I going to place those? Okay, so let's do that. let's take a look at that closely. So this side looks like it's lining up just almost with this pupil. And I'm also looking at the relationship between this and the side of her nose. Okay, so I'm going to go with right about there, I think. Other side lines up almost with the white. I'm going to go right about there. Okay, that's very, very carefully kind of connect those up. Remember, it's on the right-hand side of that. Wow, look at that. I see a little bit of a mistake on mine right away. I don't think I, this eye on my right side, I don't think I pushed it over far enough. But hey, it happens to all of us. That's why we're here, right? So, all right, so got that. Let's go ahead and get the center part of her lips here. I'm going to probably wake up in the middle of the night thinking about that. All right, and it's like, okay, get that center point there, the round circle right there. And then she has this nice big lip underneath, so come in here like this. Just adjusting mine ever so slightly. Alright, I'm going to, now her lips, she doesn't really have that top lip that has tone. They're about the same value, but I'm still going to just add a little bit of tone to my top lip there. Oh my, I spent way too much time at the beginning, but I think that was helpful. Sometimes it's better to get that, spend a little extra time on the construction. It'll help you in the long run. Let's move up to her nose now. I'm going to start working on her, the nostril on the far side there. So it's just like, almost like a sliver, just like that. You see that? Good, good, all right. It was worth it. Thanks for that confirmation, Jacqueline. There's so much information we try and cover that, sometimes if you just walk away with something, one little tidbit that can change your whole trajectory of understanding. So good. I'm glad that you felt that way. So there's her other nostril, and now I'm just going to finish that off there, and I'm going to come in here with the tip of her nose there slightly. Okay. Let's give our girl here some eyebrows. What do you say to that? Just going to thicken those up just a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of tone to the whites of our eyes because they're set back a little bit. Oop. All right, let's define this. Let's get into this hair just a little bit in the last 5 minutes. All right, so I'm just going to define the side of her face here just by coming down. I'm looking at her jawline. I'm just kind of following the line. This is where the barrel of her mouth is going to come here. Right into her chin. This is going to sweep over here. And I just went real fast, and some of you are probably cursing my name. Kurt, slow down! That's okay. I'll slow down. All right. Oh. All right, there's the top of her head there where her hair is, and then she has this slight part coming in there. See that? Now, let's look at the far side of her head where she has this lovely long piece of hair coming all the way down. So it's a long sweep, so I don't want to use my wrist. I want to use my whole arm to get that sweep. So this is where the concept of drawing from your elbow comes from. All right, so here I go. I'm just gonna try and get a nice line there. You see that? I drew that with my elbow, not my wrist. You'll get a lot smoother lines if you draw from your elbow. I'm going to do another one right there. Okay. And this kind of really, the back of her hair just comes around like that. You see that? Go to the other side now. Her hair is very straight. Look how close. Look how close it's coming into the side of her head right there. This is going to come in. It's going to flare out just a little bit. There's another piece down here. Look at that. Looks like she's wearing a turtleneck, so that it's coming in there. And then her shoulder is probably coming in right just like that. get the back side of her back coming in. I see it like this. Yeah, I definitely on my right eye is too close to the end. I should have kicked it out just a little bit more, but look at that. Happens to all of us, right? Okay, next thing I want to do is I'm going to add an even tone. Now this is important. When you're going to add an even tone, let me just demonstrate down here for you. This is something to think about. And because we're drawing like this, we're going fast. So you're gonna want to go fast, but don't go fast because we're almost done with the hour. And you'll finish this after I turn off the camera. But when you draw an even tone, you want to go slow enough that you get even coverage. See how that is an even coverage? What you don't want to do is do this. See, that's not even coverage. So we want to try and keep this as a nice even coverage. So I'm going to go into her hair right now and get an even coverage. Even tone. Then I'm going to also add some tone on her face. Same exact value that I just did. I'm going to go to the areas that I see on her face here that has those same tones. Right, side of her nose has some down here. Oops, that's too dark. And I think we're going to end it right there tonight. That's I think a good ending point. If you're going to put freckles in, don't overdo it. Do them very subtly. So just put them in lightly. Don't go too dark. And give some variety to them. Something like that. Okay, we're gonna end it there. So that's a good stopping point. How do we do freckles? Yes, how do we do them? So to that point, Joe, don't do them like this, Joe. Be careful that you don't get them all start lining up. You see that? Exactly far apart from each other. Be careful of that. Put them in lightly. Put some bigger. Try and get them as random as you can. And keep them light. Don't go too heavy. Yes. Don't go too heavy, okay? All right. That's a great question. The secret of freckles. We're going to leave it at that. With that, Jacqueline, that's a great comment. Okay, everyone, have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. I always appreciate the dialogue and seeing what you all are thinking and the encouragement. I give it right back to you, okay? Okay, we will see you tomorrow in our Facebook group. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye. And you are welcome.